Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received, and the message, it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my story as hidden identity? I am a Zimbabwean woman and I am married to my husband, who is a South African man. It is a little bit of a funny story as to what happened. As for my husband, he used to be my supervisor. You know what it took for me to become his wife. This is what happened. I was staying with my boyfriend for a very long time, and he used to mistreat me quite a lot. So then I went to a white garment prophetess who told me that at work there was my soulmate who was my manager, my boss, and in order for him to notice me, because our company is very big and it has hundreds and hundreds of workers, in order for him to notice me, I was supposed to use some holy prayers. And then I had to give my manager some food that he would eat, which was very impossible because I was not close in any kind of a way to my boss, since he used to manage all of these people that were working at the same factory. So then I started to buy your knickknacks, your pin pops, biscuits that I would sell at work. I started this business not because I wanted to make money, but just because I had been told by the prophetess to do so. He also became my customer because he was very fond of knickknacks, the cheese ones. So one day the prophetess told me that now that I could sometimes go to his office to go and give him some lemon creams or those other biscuits that are called shibobo. Those were some of the biscuits that I used to sell, including the pin pops. You know, at work there are sometimes when you just want to chew on something. So I would go to his office, then I would give him the pin pop, the lemon cream, depending with what I had on that day. So I used to give people at work, they would buy on credit, then I would write the name down, then when it was our fortnight, then you will pay me my money. So the prophetess had told me to buy a pack of knickknacks, and I was not supposed to sell those knickknacks to anyone except for my manager, whom I wanted to become my boyfriend. And each and every day I would make sure that even if he buys a lemon cream, some biscuits, then I would give him an extra packet of knickknacks. He did not even know that this was what I was doing. I had been using some prayers on him, but he started to fight with his wife, who was also working at the same factory. They would fight even in public. It was really embarrassing what was happening. And then he started to notice me. He would call me to his office. He would complain about South African women, them being ungrateful, and how he wished that he would find a woman that is from Zim like me. But it was unfortunate because I had a boyfriend who was also working there, and I knew that the beam was in the trap, and I told him that I was also in the market. I was looking for a partner. He was surprised, and then he took me out on a date. One thing led to another. We started dating, and then I fell pregnant for him. I had been taking some ovulation medication so that I can always be ovulating, including some prayers that I had been using. For the prophetess had told me that she wanted to clean my womb just in case if I was going to sleep with him, and I fell pregnant for him. And then I told him that you have to marry me. I finally got married to him. It was a big scandal that happened at work, but I did not even care. I told him to also not care, for love is blind. To this very day, we are still together, but this is how I got married to my husband through holy prayers. Can you say that I did something that was wrong because I fought for what I wanted, and it was unfortunate that the woman whom he was with at that time, she did not appreciate him for what he was? Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. Strange things, they do happen in this world. The question that she is asking is, can you say what I did was wrong? She gave the man a love charm through a packet of knickknacks. Strange things, they do happen in this world. She says that the prophetess used to take that big packet that had all the smaller knickknacks to this other river in Joburg, and then she will speak with the marine spirits so that they can bless this woman who gave us this confession so that she can be married to the man. She says that when she got engaged, she went and she left the ring in that same river, and it was returned back to her after 2 months. She woke up and she saw that the ring was placed on the bed by whom she does not know. Let's hope that those prayers or charms, they are not going to expire. Then the man, your husband, will realize that he married you even though he never wanted to. Then there is another message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister from Facebook. The message reads like this: I am a lawyer. Everyone expects me, and I expect myself to be a rational person, and I am afraid that I am losing my grip on reality. I am a South African woman in my late 30s, a lawyer by profession. I deal in evidence, logic, precedent, and facts. My work requires that I have to be skeptical at all the times. I argue cases and I dismantle weak narratives and challenge assumptions for a living. That is why writing this feels humiliating for myself, because I don't know whether what I am experiencing is spiritual, psychological, or something that I am quietly constructing in my own mind. And the not knowing part is what is breaking me. My faith was never extreme. I did not grow up as a fanatical. I was raised Catholic, yes, but in a very ordinary way. Sunday Mass, Christmas, Easter, nothing dramatic. Faith was part of the background of my life, not the center of it. Law school sharpened my rational side. Over the years, faith became quieter, not absent, just practical. I prayed whenever I needed strength. I trusted God in a very abstract way. Then a few years ago, something shifted. I can't point to a single crisis. It was more like an internal restlessness, a sense that my spiritual life was shallow, performative. I started reading again, not fringe material, solid Catholic books, theology, spiritual classics. I began collecting chaplets. I studied prayers instead of rushing through them. Eventually, I started praying the rosary daily, not perfectly, but faithfully. Even as my career grew more demanding, I made time, sometimes late at night, sometimes early in the morning. Faith became intentional. The prayer I should not have ignored. At some point, whilst I was reading, I came across a Catholic prayer of deliverance. And when I did this, it was a properly sourced and it was approved by the church. Nothing sensational. It was a prayer about breaking curses, renouncing bondages, as well as severing any ties to evil influences, spoken calmly, rationally, without drama. As a lawyer, I read the source, I verified it. I did not want superstition. I prayed it once, not obsessively, not fearfully, just once. And then something happened that I cannot dismiss as a coincidence, no matter how much I try. The next day, or maybe the day after, my memory is frustratingly imprecise. My husband told me something that made my stomach drop. Out of nowhere, my grandmother had told him that when I was an infant, I was taken to a Sangoma, not because I was possessed, not because I was sick, but they said because I was fearful, restless, crying constantly, especially at night. And when I was taken there, the Sangoma, the woman, performed some kind of a ritual for free to free me from bad spirits and Tokoloshes that caused fear, because they were feeding off from my energy whenever I would feel fearful. I had never had this story, not once, not hinted, not joked about. I interrogated my memory the way that I even cross-examine a witness. There was nothing, no prior mention, no slips-ups. The timing disturbed me. I did not panic. I did what I always do. I followed procedure. I went to confession. I disclosed everything, not because I believed I was guilty of something, but because of transparency matters to me. I wanted to remain in a state of grace. I wanted to close doors, not open them. The priest listened, and I left feeling neutral, not relieved, not frightened, just grounded for a while. Sometime later, though what felt like pure chance, I hesitated to use that word. I was invited to a prayer group, a structured school of prayer, disciplined, thoughtful, not emotional chaos. I didn't seek it out. I accepted, then everything began to resist it. In the 24 hours before the first meeting, absolutely everything that could go wrong did. Work emergencies, family disruptions, a sick child, a car issue, fatigue so deep I could barely think. As a lawyer, I would call this confirmation bias if it were someone else, but it felt excessive. I prayed the rosary that day with one intention only: let me get there, and I did. After that meeting, my life did not explode, it eroded. At night, when I would lie down to sleep, dogs in the neighborhood, they'll start barking as if they were wolves. You know, the cry, that growl of a wolf, not throughout the evening. And there will always be a cat that will come below our balcony, and this cat will start to cry so much, and then after that a dog will enter into my yard. Still remember on this other night when I saw a dog that was walking through my wall and it entered into my yard. How it did so, I don't know. I have 2 dogs. Those dogs of mine, they did not even bark. They did not even notice that there was a cat and there was a dog that was just underneath my balcony. They were busy fighting each other. As for my baby, she started to cry at all the times. As for my husband, he was always depressed and he was not there emotionally. And as for me, I struggled to pray. Entire days would pass where I could not focus for more than seconds. I would open my mouth to pray, then I would feel as if there is someone that is holding me. I tried to even go for therapy. I tried everything until one day when I was driving in my car, I saw a woman that was sitting behind me. This woman that was sitting just behind me in my car, she was as if she was a shadow. But what surprised me was that she was a woman who was also praying to the rosary. It was quite strange. I thought it was a hallucination. I pray every day to Saint Michael. I pray the Saint Michael prayer. I bless our home with holy water. I try to remain in a state of grace. I have tried everything, but I can't find peace anymore. I am afraid that maybe I am the one that has brought such a curse in the family, because spiritually I feel as if we are living under a curse. The whole family has been destabilized and I am always feeling anxious at all the times. I have seen cats that follow me even when I go out just for a little jog. Then I see a cat that will be hopping from one house to another, following me. And when I look ahead, I always see this black dog that will be standing in the middle of the road. Then it will just disappear. This is my confession. Am I losing my mind? I am terrified of misinterpreting my own experience. I don't know if this is spiritual warfare or if it is me just hallucinating. I have read books about occultic stuff. I don't know if those are some of the books that are causing all of this. One more thing so that people can help me. I once read a book that is called The Magic Book of King Solomon, how he used to harness the powers of fallen angels so that they can help him to build the temple. This, I read it when I was in university. After a couple of pages, I started to feel dizzy and had terrible nightmares, and I stopped reading it altogether. Is this where my problems are coming from, touching many occultic books? Your dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. Let us try to speak with him in the comment section. Then there is another message that was sent to me by one of our dear brother. The message, it reads like this. Hello, how are you? Please post my story as unknown. I am a South African man. Correct me where I am wrong. I am currently living here in Gauteng with my mother. My father, he passed away. Just before my father had passed away, he called me. It was me, my sister, and my cousin brother, and he told us the truth, what he had done, and the reason as to why he ran away from Limpopo. My father wanted to join this other taxi association, but there was one man who was blocking him. This man had many taxis, and he did not want anyone anymore to join that taxi association. So my father, he started pirating, and they took his taxi. He then found money and he bought another one. But the way that he found his money, he said that they hit an SPV truck and they made money. Soon after that, my father, that was when he was involved in a gun shootout with that man who did not want my father to be involved in that taxi association, and he forced himself into that association. He started eliminating some of the taxi owners. My father was being troubled by the spirit of a man whom he had killed, and then he went to Mpumalanga. He was assisted by a woman whom he said before he passed away she was the child of the devil, because she could change shapes. Sometimes she could become a snake, and she was the one that gave him a Tokoloshe. When I grew up hearing about Tokoloshes, I thought that it means a creature that looks like a man. I did not know that even a snake or anything, even a wooden carving, can be a Tokoloshe like what my father had. My father had a walking stick that he carried with him at all the times, that he had some beads of different colors, and he passed it on to me. When my father passed away, we only had 2 taxis, and then we kept on using that walking stick. As I'm speaking with you right now, we have 16 taxis between me, my sister, and my cousin brother, and my mom. We are the only one who know about the true secret of the family, and there are a lot of my family members that die the same way. In our family, there are people that die after each and every 3 to 4 years. We have a funeral in the family, and that person that die would have been stabbed to death or shot, just like what my father did when he was fighting to be involved in the taxi industry. It is something that really did not matter that much to me, but now I am married to a woman who goes to church. She is disturbing the Tokoloshe, for she prays at all the times, and whenever she is fasting, things do not go so well in my business. Dear listeners, right, there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear brother. Let us try to speak with our brother in the comment section. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. Yo!